Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. Specifically, Season 2, Episode 3. Let me see if I'm not even going to look at my notes here. Nervous Man in a $4 Room. It sounds like a poem. I can't wait to see where they go with this one, my friends, so wait no longer, we shall. If you could do me a quick favor, though, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to journey into the Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time once again to journey between sight and sound as we watch The Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 3, Nervous Man in a $4 Room. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Rod's telling us about the Twilight Zone. This one's called a Nervous Man in a $4 Room. It sounds like a poem or like a painting, like the name of a painting or something, like a piece of art. How's that? Hey, everybody, he's nervous. You know how I can tell? He's biting his nails.
I've been expecting your call.
You're cool.
Now, wait a minute, George. Now, I've been sitting here 3-4 hours now. I've been roasting to death out there. And, well, I like to go out of my mind, George. Well,
You got a cord.
George, will you let me, will you listen to me, George?
That's good acting right there.
You know I got a tendency toward nerves, George. And, well, you could sit in the hotel room only so long, and it was such a hot night outside, George. I'm going to do the job, whatever it is. You know that. You got a #1 boy here, George. I'm going to do the job, but...
This guy's really good.
George? George?
The music's louder than his delivery. I like that, too.
This is Mr. Jackie Rhodes, age 34.
Jackie Rhodes.
And where some men leave a mark of their lives as a record of their fragmentary existence on Earth, this man leaves a blot. Dirty, discolored blemish to document a cheap and undistinguished sojourn amongst his betters.
Wow. Jesus.
What you're about to watch in this room.
God, Rod.
For in just a moment, Mr. Jackie Rhodes, whose life has been given over to fighting adversaries, will find his most formidable opponent in a cheap hotel room that is in reality the outskirts of the Twilight Zone.
Well, who knows? If $4 gets you a ticket to the Twilight Zone. Jackie Rhodes. George? Turn off lights.
How are you, Jackie?
Oh, I'm all right, George. I'm all right. I'm just a little nervous about the action tonight.
George is going to take a seat, Jackie.
What about tonight, George? What's the job?
Does it make any difference?
Are they crooks? I think that's what the assumption should be, but...
Well, what would you like to do, Jackie? What's your heart's desire?
Are you kidding me, George? You're pulling my leg. I know you. You're pulling my leg. Well, if it was up to me, I'd
Do what?
I don't mind a little shakedown, a little bunco, but it's just that I'm getting all the hard stuff. You know, almost got picked up the last 2 times. Remember the heist?
Okay, well, it sounds like criminal activity.
So if they pick me up one more time, George, it's 3 strikes and out. I'm long gone and for good.
Was he a distraction, I wonder?
You look like a man trying to catch a subway at 5 o'clock. You always look like somebody squeezing you through a door. What do you do to sleep at night, Jackie? Hide in the locked closet?
Now, look, George, I'm not knocking you, and I don't see why you all the time gotta knock me. All I'm asking from you is...
Careful.
No shakedowns. No deliveries to a fence. Nothing little, Jackie. Not tonight. You're getting up in the world.
That's interesting. If it were... I almost think that Jackie is working with the cops or something. That's why he's so nervous, but...
He's a feisty old bum. He's always giving us trouble. He don't want to pay off for the jukeboxes. He don't want to pay for protection. We lecture him all the time, but he spits in our eye. So tomorrow morning, they find the old gleep sprawled across his bar. Now, that's simple, Jackie. Even you can understand.
Kill him? You want me to kill him?
That's what it sounds like.
George, I can get sent up for just carrying that thing.
Okay, so he must be on parole, too.
For George, I'm strictly breaking and entering. I'm nickels and dimes. You put me in an alley, I do a mug job. But I gotta do it from behind. I got no guts, George. You know that, George. I got no guts. Why don't you get a couple other guys, huh? Get a couple of torpedoes.
Because every torpedo I got in the line is going to get picked up the minute they find that old gleep. Because you're not going to get picked up because you're nickel and dime and everybody knows it.
Yeah, he needs you. He needs you to take the fall here.
No guts.
Right, you're going to get guts, Jackie. I don't care where from.
Wow.
Now, he closes that bar at 2 o'clock. You be there when he's about to lock up. And you do it. If I find out that you welched on me, Jackie, that you chickened out,
Boy.
you're dead.
Wow. Okay, well.
Hey, George. Hey.
He's already gone, bud. Well, Jackie's in the shit now, but this isn't necessarily Twilight Zone-y. This just looks like a really, really bad night. So he's just supposed to show up. I guess I'm assuming the guy closes the bar at 2 in the morning. So whenever he is getting ready to close it, Jackie's supposed to go in and murder this guy because he's not paying for protection and whatnot. And George's crew apparently wants everybody else on the block to fall in line after witnessing what happens to the bartender.
That's what you're, some dopey old man, a gleep. Hey, that's what George called him, a gleep. That's what George called him, a gleep.
This guy's a great actor.
Oh, I wish I could trade you and I could use another model.
Huh.
I'm all the time scared.
I do like that shot.
How many nights in a cheap, lousy little room like this? $4 a night of roasted death.
The ADR is way off on that.
Hey, George, you ain't no judge of people, George. You ought to feel cantaloupes. You ought to stick with apples and oranges, George, because you ain't no judge of people. Jackie Rhodes, the killer.
This guy is really good. Pull the camera in with him. I love it.
So you do the job and you're dead anyway. Because you know you never got away with anything. You live till tomorrow and that's how it ends. No matches. Cigarettes and no matches. That's me all over. That's Jackie Rhodes, the halfway boy.
Day late, dollar short, cigarette with no matches.
Hello, Jackie. You're not running out on me this time. You talking to me?
Is me talking to me? Cool.
You talking to me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure you are. Now, me and the mirror, we're having a talk. But you ain't lost your marbles yet, and I mean to see that you keep them. Who are you? I'm you, Jackie.
I'm just going to take over for tonight.
How's that? You're me and I'm you.
We're us.
I'm part of you, Jackie, another part of you. Don't you even remember me? A very long time ago, you were up for grabs. You could have gone one way or the other. You could have gone my way or your way. Your way. A cheap, weak, scared, half-vulture, all-mouse. That's what you are, Jackie.
What's your way?
And in just a couple hours from now, I'm gonna put the finger on somebody. So, what do you do for a living, huh? Haunt people in mirrors? I'm a mouse, huh? Well, you're nothing. Jackie.
You're leaving through the closet?
Now, Jackie. Jackie, don't pass out on me now. Jackie, we've got a big night ahead of us.
Can you just take control? Oh, we're at the intermission already. Now, okay, so speculation. Do we think Jackie's going to switch with his more aggressive self and then be stuck in the mirror? I think that's something that could easily happen because Jackie, while isn't the worst guy, he's not a good guy.
I'm talking to myself. That's just who you are talking to. Part of yourself, the part you never let come out. Now listen, buddy. You got no invitation to come out now. So you can go right back where you came from. Who needs you? You do. You've always needed me.
You asked to switch to a different model.
You're scared this is the last job. So you make a big noise like a conscience so the big man don't say you've been goofing off all my life. It means more than that to me, Jackie. You think I can keep quiet now while you go out and get us both killed?
Right, I love this.
You never got away with nothing, and you know you won't get away with this. And I got a right to live.
I can get us away, or make it work.
Don't you ever look in a mirror? I was a runt. I was a skinny little runt. When you want to join a street gang, you got to go along with them. You back down, they give you business. They call you a chick and yell. You ain't got it. Yeah. You went along with him, and you made me go along, too. The teacher had a locket, and the catch broke, and she laid it down, and some of the big kids dared you to swipe it. Dared me. And a year later, they dared you to break into that grocery store with them. And you went along. And you dragged me along, too. And we got caught. And you spent the next 11 months in reform school. And so did I.
I'm done being caught.
What do you want from me anyway?
George has to know that Jackie's an F-up, too. So, why give him this job?
You didn't have time when that parole officer tried to help you. You could have listened to him, but you joined another gang. 6 months later, you were in jail again. And that parole officer couldn't help you any more than Jenny Reardon could.
Is that your girl? Crush?
She was a beautiful woman. She tried to set you straight. I loved her, Jackie.
Oh, wow.
You got a nerve. How could you love anybody? You're just a piece of glass. I could love. I needed her, Jackie. So did you. But you graduated from the street gang into the shakedown rackets. Big shot, huh? 2 years we spent in the pen on that one.
The other personality doesn't seem to be... Initially, I thought it was a tough guy. He seems to have a moral compass.
You cheated me out of her. Don't tell me your troubles. It's nothing to me. Dames I can take or leave alone. Dames you can take or leave, huh? That's a statement for the press.
Hmm.
Why don't you cut it out? Will you do that? Will you knock it off?
Why?
For me, anyway.
He wants to take
I'm
over.
asking you, what do you want from me?
I don't want to get caught.
I want to call the shots. I want you to let me out. I want a chance to live. I want to live the dreams you dreamed and never had the guts to live. Fat chance, Buster. Big fat chance. I'm me and you're you. And that's no statement for the press. That's the goods. I'm calling the shots. And neither you or anybody else is telling Jackie Rose what to do. Neither you or anybody else.
Or George.
Yeah, honest, George. Honest, I'm on my way now. Yeah, I'll meet you right back here, George. Okay.
I think it's a setup. I really do. I think George is going to send the cops in at 2:30, or I don't know. Can't the other personality just take control?
Hey, come on. I want to see how I look, Glass. Come on. You go out that door, you're finished. We're both finished. That's the door to nowhere. Jackie, let me out. I want to take over. I gotta
I love he didn't have a reflection either.
You got nothing. You are nothing. It's time to be something.
Oh, I love that.
I'll let you out of there. Come on out of there, boy Sky. Come on out.
Did we catch the camera? And I don't think we did. It's getting closer.
I'm gonna take your skin off foot by foot. Nobody went to the old man's bar tonight, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to you, you raunchy little welcher. Well, what do you got to say for yourself, Crumb? Huh?
I don't think you're going to like the answer, George.
What have I got to say for myself, George? Not much. Just 2 words. I resign.
Nice.
You can have your gun back, plus the following.
Jesus.
Move out, George.
Love it.
And don't ever come back for anything.
Yeah, he took the bullets out good.
Room clerk, this is Jackie. This is John Rhodes, room 14. I'm checking out. No, I'm not coming back.
I love it.
No, as a matter of fact, nothing's all right. The room's too hot, too small, and too dirty. It's just a place for bums. But not for me.
Go get him, John.
What's to do now? What's to do now? Now we go look for a job. Now maybe we get married. Now maybe we stop biting our nails.
Hey, when do I get to take over again?
Exit Mr. John Rhodes, formerly a reflection in a mirror.
Formerly a reflection.
Mr. John Rhodes with 1 foot through the door and 1 foot out of the Twilight Zone.
Love it. All right, everybody, we just finished watching The Twilight Zone, Season 2, Episode 3, Nervous Man in a $4 Room, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished Nervous Man in a $4 Room, the 3rd episode of the 2nd season of The Twilight Zone. I mean, it was a good one. I think the performance carried it. If they had had a weaker actor in the role, I think that it would definitely have suffered because of the kind of attention to that type of acting. But it was a premise that we've kind of figured out pretty early that there was going to be, especially as soon as the reflection reared its head, and there was the idea of a split personality, or at the very least a dominant and a recessive person, something like that. That, again, the one guy was going to take over. See, initially I thought that it was basically something like the reflection was actually not malevolent, but maybe more aggressive and tougher than Jackie. I guess we'll do that, Jackie and John. But it turns out that John wasn't. I thought that John was going to take over and then, go commit the murder and help him get away with it, because he couldn't get away with it. And in so doing, keep himself free, keep John free. But it turns out John was actually on the up and up and really regretted the decisions that Jackie had made to that point. And then, of course, the whole thing is with so many of the Twilight Zones, we can look at these and say, okay, is this really happening? Is he really talking to the mirror? Is it fantastical? Or is this an internal debate between, somebody potentially with a mental disorder, or at the very least struggling with the morality of their life, and in so doing kind of manifested a more noble personality to kind of lean on, to offer support when there's nobody else in his life to do so. It's a very interesting exploration, as are so many of the Twilight Zones, because outside of Jackie John, nobody knows any of this stuff had happened. It wasn't like we had a genie where we had two people that were aware of it with our other, man in the bottle. But with this one, this was wholly inside the $4 room. And now that room could easily be, instead of four walls, it could be his skull. It could be inside his own brain, his personality. He is so solitary and so isolated from both the world. It's insular inside that little room too. He can feel the exterior forces of the heat from the weather. He gets a call from George kind of directing him where to go, but he is completely isolated and alone. The only intruder is George. And George, acting as that malevolent force that's kind of dictating the course of his life so far. George wasn't there when he was 10 years old getting into a gang, but George represents everything that's wrong. He is the devil on his shoulder. He's the person that's absolutely supporting this lifestyle. And it's ultimately George who needs to be bested for, Jackie John to be able to take the next step in his life, to go get married, have a family, find a job, all those things that John wanted to do, that he didn't like the idea that Jackie wasn't strong enough to stand up against the influences of the gangs. Again, it could easily be a Twilight Zone, or this could easily, Rod could be our narrator, or Rod could be a psychiatrist that's working Jackie through these types of things. It's very interesting. It's an awesome debate that so many of the Twilight Zones lend themselves to. I think of so many of these where you all have told me afterwards, yeah, but he or she could be dead at the very beginning, and this is all some type of fever dream. And I'm like, damn it, they're right. And it's like you want to, as a science fiction fan, now I can firmly say that, you want the fantastical to be the real. You want the wild, the magical, all of these things to be what is really happening. But in all likelihood, or as far as interpretation and analysis goes, you can easily look at this from a psychological perspective, an emotional perspective, an interpersonal perspective, even if you want to consider the two people to be two people. It lends itself in a 20-some minute show to so much analysis and so much sort of like introspection into exactly what our main character is doing, how they're doing it, and what ultimately is the goal for them, where they want to get to. And it was Jackie reaching out to himself, right? So, again, you can never have a clear answer, nor would I ever want a clear answer from the Twilight Zone, because I like the idea that it could be either way. That it could be Jackie finally pulling himself up out of, with his bootstraps, becoming John Rhodes and taking control of his life. Also, the fantastical really works in that John just took over. He'd been waiting all this time, 34 years, I think they said how old he was, all this time to take over from Jackie and let Jackie get in the rearview mirror for a bit and be able to sit back there and John can show him how it's done. Regardless, I think the safest thing to say is Jackie's probably right where he needs to be. Jackie was so scared of everything. He was so worried about everything. He was the nervous man in the $4 room. He can be the nervous man in the mirror now. He can be somebody that can live vicariously through John and feel safe. If you're thinking of Jackie as a completely separate character, This is actually a win-win. I thought that whenever Jackie was put into the mirror, we'd end with him going, hey, John, hey, when can I come back out? Hey, John, and John's like, F you, I'm never giving control back to you, dude. But it wasn't like that. Jackie seemed to be like, hey, what are we doing next? You stop biting your nails. Oh, yeah, okay, I can do that. But Jackie's safe. John's in control. I think it was a win-win. I think it's about all we can say about that one. A great exploration once again into a 20-some minute bite-sized episode of The Twilight Zone. They always pack a lot in there, a lot of food for thought. Friends, if you can do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for The Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. If you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But all that is then and this is now, my friends, and now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from The Twilight Zone. So normally what we do around here is whenever we finish an episode or a movie, we, being the Greek chorus, somebody that helps the storyteller spread the information to people that haven't heard the story, hey, you should check this out. We're a vitally important part of the narrative, my friends, and normally, as our reward, we jump back into whatever we just saw and say goodbye from a favored scene. But with The Twilight Zone, we do something just a little bit different. With The Twilight Zone, we say goodbye as a result of the episode. And so, my friends, here we are. We're in a $4 room. Now, whether or not we're nervous, that's up to you because we're staring at our reflection in the mirror, and the reflection has decidedly different personality than we do. My only question is, which side of the mirror are we on? Friends, until such time as we can take another trip with Rod into the Twilight Zone, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.